It finally broke me. The left finally did it. The left has finally made me snap, and finally make me want to do this video that I've been pushing back for weeks now, because they finally done it. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, but I decided, you know what, it's bad now, but you know, it'll get better. No. It just got 100 times worse with what just happened today. And quite frankly, this is a stemming issue that we have to solve now. This is an issue that we only have 10 years to solve, probably, at most. Realistically, probably 8. So this video is going to be a little bit of a rant. I'm sorry if this is a bit not unusual for me, but if you don't like this type of video, please just click off. I don't want to deal with any headaches. This is my opinion what's happening. This is a rant on the current situation in the United States, because, let's face it, our culture is almost dead. Our values almost dead. Everything is completely just dead at this point for America. And the left, the Republican establishment, the neocons, the neoliberals, the establishment media, they all think this is normal. What's happening to our culture. What's happening to our traditions. And I have to go off on a lot of stuff today. And I may sound, I guess, quote-unquote homophobic, transphobic, whatever you want to call me. I don't really care. Because I'm going to say this right out of the way. I don't hate people, specific parts of the communities that I'm going to be talking about today. The only parts of the communities I don't like are these people pushing their agenda on the younger generations of this country. Now again, with like the trans community, I don't have a problem with those that have health issues. That's not my issue with that community. The people that have health issues have a valid reason to talk about, like, hey, we should have equal rights with this stuff, and hey, we're still human because we still have, we just have a health reason for this. But we're not making this up in our heads, like a good chunk of that community is. And quite frankly, this video is going to sound disturbing to a lot of people, but this is what's happening in this country. So let's get right into it. So we got to talk about what happened today, and it's all over the Mr. Potato Head stuff. And if you don't know what happened, the Hasbros just killed Mr. Potato Head. They killed him. You heard that right. They just killed him. Not just, oh, we're gonna, like, stop making them. No. They made him gender neutral. Killed his gender, and made him gender neutral for making them same-sex families possible for the Mrs. Potato Head stuff. And this is ironic, because they're keeping Mrs. Potato Head, but not Mr. Potato Head. And this is a stemming issue. This is what broke me, essentially. Now, what caused this? What actually caused Hasbro from changing Mr. Potato Head to some gender-neutral crap? Well, there's 3 things. 1, the mega corporations from big media, big tech, all that stuff. You know, Fox, the CNNs of the world. They were pushing all this stuff. Mr. Potato Head's transphobic. Well, not really that, but more so, men are homophobic, men are sexist, men are transphobic, all that stuff. And, quite frankly, that was the first part. But that's not the issue. There's 2 communities that are the real reason that this happened. That this disgusting act of changing Mr. Potato Head happened. The second community, which is the first one, is of course the trans community. Again, I don't have a problem with those that have health reasons for being transgender. I'm talking about the people that have these straight up mental health issues. They have mental health crisis, and they are using their mental health issues and just throwing on a society. And these people need help. A lot of them. I don't hate them, but they legitimately have health issues. Mental health issues, I should say. They're not transgender. They don't have a health reason to say that they're a woman or not. Alright? They're either a man or a woman. They can't just change their gender on the will because their mind says so. And again, I don't have a problem with those that, you know, have health reasons. That's not my issue. My issue with these people that are just, they got something happen early in their life, they got abused, something like that, and they think that this is the best way to cope with it. That's straight up what a lot of these people are. They had mental health crisis early on and never got solved because our schools are useless. And then they got society to just, like, make them depressed for being a man, for being a woman, all that stuff. And they wanted to switch genders, essentially. So they think they're a different gender because society confuses them, scares them, makes them depressed. And our schools does nothing about this. The schools, in fact, are the ones pushing this crap. I mean, a lot of those crackheads in the social studies department, they're the reason that a lot of these people are having mental health breakdowns. So these people need help. Mental health people, they need help. I'm not saying this to be like, I hate them. I'm just saying a lot of these people do legitimately need help. Because it's like the suicide rate for a lot of these people are, like, I think like 50% or something like that. It's an insane rate. I'm not saying that's the exact number, but it's an incredibly high rate compared to most other parts of society. And they need help. A lot of these people, they just need help. But society doesn't give them help. They just keep normalizing what they're doing. It's not normal for, a 6-year-old boy to wear a ballerina costume, essentially. To wear a female's costume or something like that. That's not normal. Or female clothing. That is not normal, guys. That is not normal at all. And to normalize it is disgusting by what big media is doing. These people just need help. A lot of them do need help. And I'm not saying this to be transphobic or not. I don't really care. But I have an issue where people that do have legitimate mental health issues are not getting help, and in fact pushing their issues on the younger parts of society. And then turning them with mental health issues and so forth. It spreads like a wildfire. Now the third community is, of course, the frickin' social studies teachers that teach, like, social issues like that. The ones that want gender-neutral everything. They're insane. Straight up, they're crackheads. They're lunatics. Straight up, that's what it is. That's enough said for that. But the point being is, this is just one part of what the left has been doing. The neoliberals, the large chunk of the trans community that have mental health issues, but are not getting help for it, and pushing their mental health issues onto society to normalize it. So, that's just one part. You can go on for a long time. I mean, the left, the neoliberals, the neocons, they are redefining what marriage is. Again, I don't have an issue with two guys being together, alright, and the government recognizing them as a union. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem when they basically interfere with religious liberty. Now, I'm a Catholic. That's straight up. I'm Roman Catholic, and I don't believe in gay marriage. I really don't. That's just the teachings, and that's what the church says. Now, I don't have an issue with two guys being together and the government recognizing them as a union. That's fine. If the government does that, here's the difference with marriage and a union. A union is where a couple, they essentially file taxes together, essentially. It just makes taxes simpler, and just the government recognizes them, makes taxes, makes bills, all that stuff more simple. That's a union, essentially. A marriage, on the other hand, is a religious institute, essentially. It's a religious pact, essentially. So the government has no right to redefine what marriage is, because it is between a man and woman. But I don't care what they do with a union. That's completely different. A man with a man in a union is not a marriage, so I don't really care. But the fact the left is normalizing and redefining what marriage is disturbing in itself, because that is religious liberty that the left is intruding on and destroying a big religious institute that many religions, most people are religious and they believe that. But they're just changing it because they think that, it's transphobic, homophobic. No, it's not homophobic to believe that, personally, marriage is between a man and woman, but I don't really care if a man and man be together. Nobody's pushing for them to be lynched. We're just saying that that's not a marriage. That's not a traditional marriage at all. So there's that. I mean, you could say whatever you want about that. Call me homophobic. I don't really care. That's straight up what it is. They completely changed what marriage means. And you could keep going. They are radicalizing the schools. My goodness, what are they doing to schools? They are completely destroying the meaning of education. And they're teaching younger people useless stuff on purpose, teaching them this crap about American society, this crap about American culture. And it makes me mad. Because I love history, I love politics, I love talking about our culture, but they're pissing on it with their classes they provide. Like, one of the classes I had essentially said America was the worst thing ever created, and that white men are bad. That's essentially what the class said. So this idea that, the schools are not the problem. The schools are the core reason for a lot of these issues. They're the ones that normalize a lot of the stuff that's happening. And it's just a joke what's happening. The left gets away with it. These idiots in the right, these quote-unquote conservative voices, don't care. I mean, for once in their lives, can they do something to help our culture, which is getting destroyed by people that have mental health issues, that are insane? Guys, we need to fight back now. Not yesterday, not today, not tomorrow, now. Or yesterday, in fact. We have to start right now, right here. We gotta go. We have to save our culture. We only got 8-10 years, realistically, before this nation's screwed beyond belief. At that point, I recommend people to move to Florida at that point. Move to Brazil. Move to Poland. Move to Hungary. Get the hell out of New York if it gets so bad. But don't you dare vote Democrat. Because that's the issue right there. Voting for establishment Republicans and Democrats. That's like the worst two things you can do. But yes, we have to change our culture. And I recommend people run for school board, run for any local office. That's how you change a country. From down up. That's how you change it. That's the real influence. You don't just, oh, we're going to take back the Senate and change America. No. You need to win local elections. You have to run for school board. You have to run for city council. Run for mayor. Guys, we have to get more politically active. We need to not vote for grifters. We don't have to donate to grifters. And yes, hope you guys enjoyed this rant. This is just a quick rant I wanted to do about the current status of society. Thanks for watching.